Hi guys! Thank you so much for coming to Allison's book party tonight. My name is Gwen. I'm your host and book lady. So this isn't a live video like I would normally do. My assistant Prudence is off at a birthday party and my husband Tyler is working late tonight, so I'm kind of taking advantage of Asher going down for a nap. Raise your hand if you were here just after being at Allison's Norwex party. Yeah. That's because we all know Allison has a huge heart and she just wants to support all of her friends and family. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to jump right from that party into this one. I wanted to start with showing you a couple of my older favorites before we get to the new books. As you can see, we're out here today in my yard and I was actually gardening all afternoon, so I was very tired, very exhausted, and had a quick change before I had to film this video so you guys didn't have to see me all sweaty and gross. So one of my favorites, and this book I've had for a long time and have actually used by myself as well as with the kids, Gardening for Beginners. And this is fantastic, especially to have this time of year. This COVID-19 pandemic has gotten a lot more of my friends interested in gardening, people that I know didn't have gardens before. And so I love having this as a reference for growing my own food at home. It breaks down everything very easily because it's written for kids, but this is only my second year having a garden, and so I still reference this book to learn a lot from. This will go over how to garden in containers, how to garden outside, what pests to look out for, plants that you can pair together. Sorry, don't mean to get distracted. The chickens are also out tonight, so who knows, if they get curious, they may come over and join us, but the chickens are out grazing for a little bit. So this one I like to use and suggest this. I've actually loaned this out to a couple of people. Great time of year to have Gardening for Beginners. Another favorite that we have a lot of, we call this the That's Not My series. The one I happened to grab was That's Not My Giraffe. This one Astrid has had since she was a little baby. She's 2 years old now, 2.5. And each page has something fuzzy that we can touch. You know, that's not my giraffe, its tail is too tufty, and we can touch the tail. We can touch the mane. These are very thick pages. For the most part, kids can turn these themselves. She's only had one that met an unfortunate end, and I honestly wasn't in the room, so I don't even know what she did with it. But for the most part, she will sit in her chair, and she just goes through these all herself. There are, my goodness, what are there? 30 plus different That's Not My books. And at first I thought people were crazy. Why would you buy one of each one? Aren't they all the same? They are not all the same. They are fun to collect. They are fun to have on the shelf. And it is so funny to just walk into Asher's room and see her sitting by the bookshelf and going through a That's Not My book. She reads it herself, which is really the first step for kids loving books, is to have fun with them. So I suggest this for anybody, new parents, if you've got toddlers, kids at home, grandkids, these are just fantastic gifts. Another favorite, oh, these are just beautiful. Another kind of young kiddo, toddler type book. These are Peek Inside of Fairy Tales. Now they're classic fairy tales, so you know you're not going to find any strange retellings. These are the stories, but each page has these beautiful, intricate cuts so you can kind of peek onto the next page. And they are just beautiful to look at, as long as a very cute, simplistic retelling of a classic fairy tale. Usborne is making more and more of these. They're so much fun to have. The newest one that just came out is The Shoemaker and the Elves. And that is on our list if I haven't ordered it already. I recently made a really big order, and right after I did so, I saw like 2 other books that I really wanted and forgot and was kicking myself. But this Peek Inside a Fairy Tale, fantastic, beautiful pictures to look at. Oh, this one. Where Happiness Lives. The first Usborne book to make me cry. I used to read this every single night to Astrid back when she still wanted a story every single night. So this is about a little mouse who thinks he's very happy where he lives until he discovers another mouse who lives in a bigger, nicer house. So he talks to that mouse, and that mouse says, no, there's somebody with an even bigger, nicer house, so I'm not happy, that mouse is happy. So those two mice decide that they're no longer happy because they don't live in this big mansion like this other mouse does. So they go and they find her, and they get sadder and sadder the more she shows them her big house. But you know what? She has a secret. She's been watching this house, and it's full of so much love and family that's the happiest mouse. You know who belongs in that house? That's right, our first mouse, the one who went on the journey to begin with. This is a fantastic, cute, rhyming story, so it's got a nice rhythm to it, all about being happy where you are and loving and appreciating what you have. It is such a beautiful story. When this came out, it was out of stock for a very long time. Every consultant that I've ever spoken to suggests where happiness lives. It's just one of those classic, beautiful stories that is so wonderful to have on the shelf. Now, some of our newer books. Oh, no, I have one more older one. I call it old. It's really not that old. Luna Loves Library Day. So the first thing I want to point out about this book is that the cover is textured, and I can't stop touching it. It pops out, and it's just so much fun. But Luna Loves Library Day. When I got this book, everybody said, oh, you need to get this book. It's great. It's got a biracial little girl. My little girl is biracial, so I thought, what a neat thing to have. I did not know that Luna's parents are also divorced. So in Luna Loves Library Day, the reason she loves Library Day so much is because that's when she gets to go and visit with Dad. They spend the day at the library together. And she picks out books with him. Books about dinosaurs, books about drawing, books about magic, books with stories. In the middle of this book, here it is, Dad and Luna actually stop and read a book at the library together. And this story is called The Troll King and the Mermaid Queen. It's not a real story, it was made up for the book. But it explains how the Troll King and the Mermaid Queen got married and had a child together, but then how they just didn't get along, and they decided that they were better off if they separated, even though they both love their daughter and want the best for her. I teared up at this book because my oldest is from my previous marriage, and it was just so nice to kind of see that there are books sitting there to talk about divorce. I wish I had this when she was little and we were going through our divorce, to show her that Mom and Dad only want the best for her even when we're not together anymore. Luna actually has a second book out now, Luna Loves Art, and that one is about a little boy in her class who acts out and they really don't know why, so Luna decides to befriend him and find out that things at home aren't great for him, which is another lesson, and that one I definitely have in the mail, and I can't wait to have that one. So Luna is just this lovely little biracial girl teaching us just fantastic lessons for our kids. Now on to the new books, I swear. This first one, What If I Want to Be Kind? Now, these are called What If Monsters. They stem from the book Jonathan James and the What If Monster. Jonathan James is a little boy who has a lot of what if questions. He's a worried kid, just like kids have worries. So this book here, thicker board pages for our younger readers. We can be kind every day. What if we learn how to do that today? So this is, what if I want to be kind to my brother? Well, I can play a game with him. What if I want to be kind to my mother? I can draw her a picture. And it goes through it, the people in our lives, and what if I want to be kind? What can I do to do that? Is that not a great topic for what's going on in our world today? What if I want to be kind to people? I think, where is it? There are some good ones here. What if I want to be kind to animals? I can offer clean water. What if I want to be kind to my community? I can donate to people in need. So this one's great, starting with that that nucleus, that inner family, and going outward all the way to animals, to my community, to my neighbors, to my school. What if I want to be kind to my neighbor? I can help with a chore. And this is just one of those books that gives you a really good foundation to talk with your kids about, what if I want to be kind? What are the things that I can do? This one, going back from anything serious, another book about bears. This book, it was funny. I got to hear this at our Usborne conference. It was read by the author who does hilarious voices for her books. It was funny again when I read it to Astrid and Prudence. So what this story goes on about is that a lot of our children's books and fairy tales feature bears. Did you know that every time you read one of those books, bears have to stop what they're doing and act out the story for you? Well, they're sick of it, and they're going on strike, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. So we're trying to come up with a compromise with, well, is there another animal that we can use instead? So the bears tried to find us another animal that we can use, and ultimately there's just no other animal as good as a bear for their stories. So the very end of the book, we, the readers, and the bears have to come up with a compromise. And we do, and it is a happy ending. But this book is just funny. My daughter loves animals. She used to be terrified of bears. We don't know why. We've never watched anything scary with bears, but she heard bear one day and decided she was afraid of it. Now she loves them, and she found this book to be hilarious. Another book about bears. Here we go. Fair Shares. This is another really good, I don't say conversation starter, maybe conversation foundation book. So to a lot of us, what's fair? Fair is, I get a piece of candy and Timmy gets a piece of candy. That's fair. We each get one piece of candy. Well, what if it's swimming lessons? What if I get 1 hour of swimming lessons and Timmy gets 2 hours? Wait a minute. That's not fair. Why does he get more than me? Sometimes those conversations can be a little harder. That's an easy example because Timmy just needs a longer time learning how to swim. But sometimes what's fair isn't always what's equal, and that can be a hard conversation. This here is another one of those foundations. Bear and Rabbit are both trying to get the pears in the tree. Neither one can reach. They're trying. So they decide, let's get some chairs and we can reach. So they each get one chair. Bear can now reach, but Rabbit can't. I mean, it's fair, right? They both have one chair. But it's not fair for Rabbit because Rabbit still can't reach. So they get a little lesson from the beetle telling them that sometimes what's fair isn't always what's even or equal. Sometimes, like the rabbit, one person needs a little bit more to be on the same level as everybody else. So Fair Shares, another one of those just fantastic foundational conversation books. The last two I want to bring out, I haven't read in their entirety yet because they are chapter books for our bigger kids and they take a little longer to read, and I only just got these a couple days ago. The first one we have is Hotel Flamingo. Anna is the new owner of Hotel Flamingo, and she has a challenge on her hands. The once grand hotel has fallen into disrepair. It's up to her to restore it to its former glory and to find a way to make every animal, big or small, feel at home. I thought this one was cute because it's all about the hotel of animals. It's animals work it, animals rent from it. And look, there are tons of pictures throughout this entire chapter book. So yes, they're chapters, but they're short chapters and they're broken up for, if you've got anyone like my Prue that's just really reluctant about chapter books, this one is an easy breakup. The next one is Kenzie and Max series. This first book is called Breaking News. So these are about twins. There's a big truck going by. Twins, Kenzie and Max, who are suddenly whisked off to London. Their parents have disappeared. Their school is weird. None of the adults seem to be telling the truth. What is going on? So they kind of turn into spies to uncover the truth. This one a little longer, not as many pictures. Okay, here we go. So this one is almost set up like an adult book where we just have our maps and our list of characters at the front. And then it's chapter. Straight up chapter book. This is great. I believe the website says 4th grade and up. If you've got an advanced 3rd grader, they can handle this one. But just kind of that fun, that sibling duo mystery, they got to solve it. Kind of, how do I want to describe it? You know, kind of like kids superheroes where they just have that really cool, interesting life. That's what I would put this category in. So when your kid's looking to kind of escape their own world, they jump into Kenzie and Max. So those are the books that I brought outside to share with you. Our family has been reading Usborne books since Prue was maybe 5 or 6. So that's about 5 years of Usborne books. We've collected a lot, we've read a lot. So I really am here for you. If you've got questions, if you see something on the website that you're really interested in, you want to look inside of, shoot me a message. I either have it or I know somebody who has it, and I can get you those pictures and answer those questions. That's enough of listening to me talk. I'm going to let you go ahead and check out the other posts and videos. Again, if you've got any questions, shoot them to me. Thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to chat with you soon.